Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Islamic Idolatries. Today, let's discuss the Nafs. So, the Nafs is the concept of the self. Some related to the soul, but what I would say, it's like oftentimes there are various nuances and different discussions related to the way it's expressed within the Quran. Right now, let's focus on the nafs that incites to evil, which we could reword that in it, because what is evil? Evil is selfishness. It is also related to a sense of separateness, a sense of individuality and separateness from creation. It's related to a sense of supremacy or inferiority in relationship to others. So what I would say is, when we're talking about the nafs, think about it like a false sense of self, a false selfhood, an incorrect view of who we are within this world. So because I would define idolatry generally as unhealthy attachment to a false conceptualization of people, places, things, and ideas. And the way that we conceive of ourselves as an individual that's separate from everything else and everyone else is inaccurate. We are deeply interconnected with all other humanity and all of creation through our sacred soil, through our sacred living water, through our sacred clay, through our genetics, through our ruh, through the kun that creates everything. Through the prophetic reality, we are connected to all other humans and also to all of creation. So it's an inaccurate statement to say that I exist as a separate individual. Now, we do have a conventional sense of self, a conventional individuality, but it's not absolutely true. It's not absolutely real. That's why we're middle path people. Is this selfhood eternal and permanent? It says in the Quran that everything fades except for Allah, except for the truth. Only truth remains. All falsehood fades away in the light of truth. So this sense of individual permanent selfhood, or another unhealthy wrong view, is to think of this as we have no truth within us, that this is all meaningless and purposeless to be alive, and that I am worth nothing. This is actually a very unhealthy view as well. To have a false sense of supremacy and superiority is very unhealthy, and to have a false sense of inferiority, of less than, is incorrect and wrong. We are middle path people. We are deeply interconnected with all of humanity and with all of creation. So the nafs, if we think about ourselves as separate individuals and better or worse than others, that's actually a form of idolatry, because we're attached to a false notion of who we are, a false conceptualization of who we are. And we dig our heels in. We do not want to be wrong. We do not want to be humiliated or disrespected, and we will get very, very upset about this because it is disturbing the idol of ourself, because we think about ourselves as separate individuals. Do not tarnish my image. How dare they even try to debate or discuss with me if they don't have 20,000 views or 200,000 people who can come out and visit them and listen to them lecture. Astaghfirullah. We are not to be arrogant egomaniacs. We should not be setting ourselves above others. That's an idol. It's kind of like the Oscar statue. It's a gold statue that the actor and the movie makers, they get for having, they award themselves for being great movie makers, great creators. And they have this little statue, and they polish it up. They probably got it in a nice little shelf next to their book, next to their desk, some prominent place where people can admire it, where sometimes if they're feeling low, they're feeling bad about themselves, they can look in the cabinet and they can feel better about themselves. You know what? I'm actually pretty great. I'm awesome. This is actually a type of shirk, to think about ourselves as separate from others. And we have to be people of appreciation and realize how deeply interconnected we are, that this breath is a sacred blessing and a gift, that this very moment is worth living. Smile and appreciate this. So we need to come into a more selflessness, an egoless flow state. It's not to kill our ego or destroy our ego. It's really to dissolve our false conceptualizations. And one way of looking at it is that we can go through, they say that we should die before dying. All right, we should die before dying. So we need to go through a process where we die to concepts of who we are. One of the best ways to do this is if you go and you sit a meditation retreat. You do, like a 10, 20, 30-day retreat where you observe your breath and your body sensations. And once you come into a very still place where you sit in stillness, then what happens is your memories begin to arise and you start to see scenes from your life unfold. You may spend 10 straight days crying. You know, the first time that I sat a 10-day retreat, I let go of many, many things and many people who had come through my life. People that I had sorrowed for losing. They were very wrapped up in my self-identity, my self-identity, who I conceived of myself to be. And I thought of myself as a terrible person for certain situations, for losses that I had. I didn't realize how sophisticated and complex everything was. So the letting go process, forgiveness and pardon are related to letting go. So when we begin to forgive others and forgive ourselves, then we let go. So when we go through this process of slowing things down and stilling our minds, it's kind of like the dirt settles through it. It goes through it, the dirt particles in the water settle to the bottom and the water becomes clarified and becomes clear. And then we can see more clearly things as they really are. And we go through life with a muddied sense of who we are. And we are so attached to other people and to concepts and ideas. And the minute that things get stripped away or that things get put into our view in a way that we don't like, it hurts us, it upsets us, and it scuffs up our idol of ourself. And Allah will often pull the rug out from underneath us. He will purposely make idols fall so that we can see them for what they are, that they are not the truth. We need to be seeking Him, which is always the truth. We should seek the truth in everything we do. And this is a beautiful path. And so by going through this slowing down process, we begin to see things more clearly and we can begin this letting go process and come into reality as it actually is. So just consider that a false sense of who you are. And also, I kind of imagine it like we go through a hard detach from concepts of who we are, and it's almost like they are then right in front of us so that we can see them clearly and then dissolve them through awareness. And they become like particles. And through our awareness, we send light through the particles and purify them. And then we can reintegrate those purified particles back into us as lessons. That it's like, wow, I went through this difficult situation with my ex or with my family or with these friends so that I could learn these really important lessons about what it means to be human and what it means to be a caliph of the earth and what it means to be mature and loving and wise and compassionate and how to help others. Because once we go through this maturation process, it is obligatory to share with others. This is our path. This is a path of sadaqah. So we are to share with others. So anyway, let's just consider that the nafs is a false and selfish expression of who we are, where we feel better or less than others and separate from others, where we're deeply, deeply interconnected. So may we realize the beauty of these interconnections. May we realize truth, because truth is supreme. And the only thing that's worth living for is truth as it actually is. Truth is beautiful. Truth is the source of beauty. Truth is excellence. Truth is the source of excellence. Truth is wise. Truth is merciful and compassionate. Truth is forgiving. Truth is loving. Truth is just. Truth is magnificent. So until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.